Good morning, Autumn.
Good morning.
You heard on Caleb Ballard?
Correct, and he's more than likely not going to show, I don't believe.
Okay. Jeanette? I've got a bench warrant arraignment on an Abigail Adams. Autumn, can you tell who's got her?
Give me just a second. I don't think she's, oh, she is on.
Daniel.
Dan does.
I've got a young woman on a probation violation arraignment. Apparently she's got some new charges. I may bring her in a moment. We'll turn the live feed back on. Mr. Reed, we sent notice of this Brandon Crew matter to the Kalamazoo County Prosecutor's Office. The matter is set for a pre-exam next Tuesday.
No.
But I'm not sure if this new situation develops a conflict for you, so we're gonna have to deal with that.
It already got renoticed. It's not next Tuesday. It's
Oh, it's not?
no.
Well, let's see here. It's set for the 13th.
Yeah.
Well, in the meantime, he's in jail.
Amy Shepard from the Kalamazoo County Prosecutor's Office will be appearing.
Okay.
She called me this morning in a panic and said, I just got this yesterday. I said, well, I just found out this morning, so we're even.
Well, I sent it on short notice because it was a bond violation that just occurred. I arraigned him on the Polycom. You weren't available, so I set it for the next available morning. It didn't occur to me the Sturgis component of this.
Yeah.
Good morning. Welcome to Centerville.
Good morning. Thank you.
We're waiting for the jail to bring Mr. Crew into what we call the Polycom room. We are live on YouTube. We're on the Zoom platform and we're recording this. So we'll wait just a moment. There's some complications. Did you get the report of what the alleged violations are?
I did not. I just got the notice for this morning's appearance.
Well, that's not very helpful. I'd asked them to send that to you. Darn it.
Is it something that's on OnBase I can grab for her, Your Honor?
Yes, would you? And
Yes.
forward it to Mr. Reed and to...
I don't want to.
No, TJ doesn't want it,
I don't
but,
want- No, I don't want any of this in my file. Because I can't appear, and I'm probably gonna have to get out of the other case, so I think I've got to figure out the proper analysis as far as getting out, as far as conflict wise. It's a city of Sturgis officer, I believe a city of Sturgis ordinance violation was issued.
I wasn't even aware of that.
So I believe there was a disorderly person under city ordinance that was,
Well, I think it was actually defrauding an innkeeper.
yeah, again, I'm not exactly sure what it is, but I know that the city of Sturgis responded and made the arrest.
Ms. Shepherd, I apologize for you not getting the information. He's not here yet, and I guess we're not making any improper record, but he got arrested on the bond violation, and it was there on my desk on Monday morning. I arraigned him and knew there was a special prosecutor, and Mr. Reed is normally scheduled to be here on Wednesday morning, so I set up for this morning, but I was cognizant of the fact that he's got a $30,000 cash or surety bond. Mr. Krug, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Could you lean back? All I can see is the top of your head. Good morning, sir. I'm sorry to wake you up. This is Judge Middleton. I'm here at the court in Centerville. You're Brandon Laron Crew. Mr. Crew, you're presently charged in this file 21252FY with using a computer to commit a crime and possession of child sexually abusive material. Because of a conflict with David Marvin becoming the prosecutor after January 1st, the matter was sent out for special prosecution, and the Kalamazoo County Prosecutor's Office has been appointed by the Attorney General to handle this. Assistant Prosecutor Amy Lee Shepherd is here for Kalamazoo County. Your lawyer, Mr. Timothy Reed, is also here. They sent this up as a bond violation, and the allegation is that you were drinking alcohol and otherwise being disruptive on March 27th at the bowling alley in Sturgis. And they gave you a breath test, and I think you were about a 158. Then you said, well, I'm 25, I ought to be able to drink. So you're entitled to have a hearing regarding the fact that you violated your bond. And at that hearing, there would have to be some proof that you actually did violate it. And then I could do a sanction like canceling your bond or giving you 3 days in jail or anything like that. But right now it's simply an allegation. Now, what I would have liked is for you to have had an opportunity to discuss this with your lawyer and see whether you simply wish to admit to the bond violation or have a hearing. But we have a new problem. Mr. Reed is the city attorney for the city of Sturgis, and the people that arrested you on March 27th was the Sturgis Police Department. And Mr. Reed is the attorney for Sturgis Police Department, which often causes conflicts. So he can't talk to you about what to do about this, which I'd hope would take place this morning. Your bond was $30,000 personal recognizance bond, and I changed it to $30,000 cash or surety bond, and you've been in jail since Saturday night. To further complicate things, the pre-exam conference was set for next Tuesday, April 6th. But for reasons I don't completely understand, the matter got adjourned to April 13th. Now it may need to be further dealt with because Mr. Reed may have now an obvious conflict. So, and to further complicate things, we didn't send a copy of the violation report to Ms. Shepherd, which I had asked to happen. Mr. Reed, what's your position there?
Well, obviously at this point, I can't take a position either way. I'm conflicted out of any type of proceeding in which Mr. Crew is being alleged to violate in Sturgis Police Department is the arresting agency and complaining witnesses. Also, I believe will then trickle down and become a conflict for the underlying criminal charge in which he was on bond for, as the court at sentencing, if Mr. Crew is ultimately convicted, would be able to utilize conduct on bond under some of the OVs to score additional points, which then puts me back into a position where I had a attorney-client relationship with an adverse witness to Mr. Crew as well as Mr. Crew. I don't think that's fair to Mr. Crew as far as the optics go, nor do I believe it's fair and impartial for me to be able to fully vet and challenge any of these allegations to protect his rights down the road. And for that reason, I'm going to have to step out of both cases. I do believe he has an attorney already in the probation probation violation. So he's on probation in circuit court anyway, got the new charges. I will contact his current attorney that was appointed on the probation violation.
Who is that?
It's Miss Halleck. Is that correct, Mr. Crew?
I know it was David Marvin. I have no clue.
Well, yeah, it can't be David Marvin. He's now the prosecutor, and that's why the Kalamazoo County prosecutor is here.
And then there's an issue with the new bond violation. 2 new criminal charges are currently pending out of that, one of which is defrauding an innkeeper issued under state statute. The other one is a disorderly person issued under city ordinance. So technically, I'm the actual prosecutor on a charge that is causing this bond violation, which I'm going to step out of both cases. I'm not going to prosecute it either. So I guess I'm going to have to reach out to the St. Joseph County Prosecutor's Office to determine if they have a conflict in the current misdemeanor charge or not. I know Mr. Marvin's analysis early on was he had a conflict because if convicted, his HIDA status would be revoked. Therefore, and he was the attorney on that one, so that's trickled down. So I'm not sure if he deems he has a conflict on a misdemeanor for defrauding, which is really disconnected from all of this. But I will let them decide, and I would ask that they take over, and if they ask for a special prosecutor, that they have basically reauthorized the disorderly under state statute as opposed to under city ordinance.
This is like a law school exam question with a diabolical professor who came up with all kinds of potential ethical issues. But underlying all this is the fact that Mr. Crew is sitting in the jail because I upped his bond from a PR bond to a cash or surety bond. So, Mr. Crew, we're going to have to get you a new attorney because Mr. Reed has a conflict. I think we'll ask to appoint Melissa Halleck.
I'm gonna go buy my own lawyer, but I can't get out of jail to buy one.
You can certainly hire an attorney of your own choosing.
How? I can't get a hold of anybody. That's the problem.
All right. Now, I'll at least tell you what I did tell you what the allegations were. The allegations were that you were at the Sturgis Bowling Alley on March 27th and you were drinking alcohol, which is a violation of your no alcohol condition of your bond. That in its simplest form is why you're in jail right now. Do you wish to consult with your attorney before entering any plea regarding your bond violation?
I mean, I drank alcohol. I mean, I'm an honest man. But the other two is bull because they kept pushing me to get out. I kept telling them I'll pay. I have 5 witnesses that was just trying to let me pay. Other than that, it wasn't even my alcohol I was paying for. It was everybody else's alcohol. So that's just even more of a collateral point right there because I've been paying for people's drinks for the last 2 hours.
Yeah, you were making it rain in there.
And I just had a good day, and for some odd reason, I wasn't thinking about bond or probation. I just had a good day. For once in my life, I should have been off probation for 2 years. For once in my life, I went to the bar and I felt good. Yeah, so I consent to drinking. and buying alcohol. But me walking out causing disturbance, bullcrap, I try to pay. I had enough money to buy drinks for the bar for the next 12 hours.
I
They
understand
pushed me
your
out
contention.
for this one.
You didn't defraud the innkeeper. You were willing to pay it, but you got kicked out.
Yeah, they wouldn't let me pay. They kept pushing me out and yelling at me, so I left.
Doobie Brothers song Black Water. I've been buying everybody drinks all night long. But you were buying some for yourself too.
I stopped buying for myself for an hour, 2 hours. I haven't bought none for myself in 2 hours. I was buying for my brothers that was with me. I literally had 4 shots and that was it. I knew I had to drive home and I just had a brand new car, so I definitely didn't want to go nowhere else.
Well, yeah, to further complicate things, they stopped you before you backed your car out, and you were at .158, so you were about
My
to
car
drive.
wasn't started. My car was not started at all. No, that was not right. I went outside to smoke a cigarette. My car wasn't even started. One of the cops that worked here was right there talking to me. So I have proof that I wasn't leaving nowhere. The car wasn't even started.
Well, you didn't get charged with drunk driving, so that's a good thing.
Well, I wasn't about to drive either. I was just trying to smoke a cigarette. The car wasn't even started, so there's no possible way I was trying to drive. I was just trying to smoke a cigarette.
Well, I'm going to advise Mr. Crew. I know I'm not, but probably should remain silent at this point. There's also a height of felony probation out there, the potential conflict or this could potentially be a violation of that as well. So that's ultimate conflict. The reason the Kalamazoo prosecutor's here is because of the new criminal charge would violate his felony probation and potentially lose HIDA, which was a very beneficial component of that with the new SORA registration issues. So this is very complicated, and I don't want to hear Mr. Cruz say anything else that might further damage a defense or his rights down the road, Your Honor.
Ms. Shepard, do you have a position regarding his bond? He's not a flight risk. He lives in Sturgis. He's been in jail for Saturday to Sunday to Monday to Tuesday to Wednesday. He's been in jail for 4 days. The bond was a high bond, but it was a PR bond, and I altered it because of the bond violation. Do you have a position regarding that?
Your Honor, I would not have an objection to bond being reinstated to what it was prior to the bond violation. And then I believe we have a pre-exam conference on this coming up next Tuesday. I'm not sure how things usually operate in this county, so I'm just bringing a suggestion for how we sometimes deal with it. But if we could reset the bond violations at the same time and take care of it all together.
That's a very good suggestion, but I think the hearing has been adjourned to the 13th, according to Mr. Reed. Let me look.
And it could be. I know I got several notices on a couple cases yesterday. I thought that this one had something.
Well, my apologies to Kalamazoo County. Mr. Marvin had to disqualify himself in about 40 cases. And so they've been going to Branch, Calhoun, and Kalamazoo. Mr. Crew, you've been in jail for 4 days for acting the fool at the Sturgis Bowl, but you haven't been found responsible for that yet. Mr. Reed raises a good point. This bond violation could violate your probation. So I'm going to appoint Melissa Halleck. PEC is set for 4/13 at 9. I'm going to reinstate your bond at $30,000 cash or surety. I mean PR. You got enough money to buy everybody drinks, maybe you ought to use some of it to hire an attorney if you wish to hire an attorney of your own choosing. So reinstate $30,000 PR bond with same conditions, no alcohol. You weren't very cautious. The magistrate told you not to drink any alcohol. You're on probation, you're on bond, neither of which are you supposed to drink. You're there in a hometown bar on a Saturday night drinking shots. That's not a good plan.
That
So,
wasn't my plan.
all right, so why don't you stay under the radar until we get you in court with your attorney? Set bond violation for the same time as the PEC.
Debbie, do you know if your office is going to be handling the misdemeanor case?
I'm not sure. I hadn't seen this one. I can see who authorized it.
Okay. I mean, because at this point, I'll send an email also asking that the county prosecuting attorney please handle the case however they see fit, whether they authorize the disorderly under state statute or dismiss it and just stay with the other one. I don't care. But I'll send that over.
Sure. It looks like Casey Johnson had authorized this. We'll check with him and Dave and see what they want to do.
Again, Mr. Martin had indicated the only reason he was technically getting out of the other case was because it was directly part and his probation agent was involved. But again, that's your analysis, not mine. I have no preference. I just want to make sure I'm sending the right correspondence to the right person.
All right.
Mr. Crew, you're gonna get out on bond unless your probation agent put a hold on you. I don't know if she did or not. I asked to send a copy of that police report to Bobby Joe Newland also. But anyway, as far as this case is concerned, I've reinstated your $30,000 personal recognizance bond. You're set for a pre-exam conference for April 13th at 9 o'clock. And sir, I understand why you would be confused. You got one lawyer on one thing, one lawyer on another thing. Your new lawyer has a conflict. He can't represent you. I appointed your other lawyer. But as it is now, Melissa Halleck is representing you on each of these cases. So it's complicated. We've also got a prosecutor from Kalamazoo who is representing the state. So the bottom line is, unless you have a probation hold, you're going to get out of jail today. I want you to keep it between the lines until we deal with this on the 13th. Do you have any questions?
No, I just feel like the other two cases are.
Well, they may well be. At this point, they're only allegations. Your defense to not paying is that you got kicked out. Well, maybe that's a good defense. It may not be a great defense to disorderly person. If you're disorderly enough, they have to kick you out. So I don't know, but I'm going to get a lawyer to help you with it, okay?
I appreciate
All right,
it.
you're good to go. I need to talk to the corrections officer, if you would. Ms. Shepherd, thank you for being here. I'll see you on the 13th.
Thank you, Your
Good
Honor.
morning. As long as I got the connection, could I see Abigail Adams?
Yeah, I'll get her called out.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, TJ.
All right.
Yeah, that's convoluted. You
Wow.
didn't have to say anything about your analysis.
Your analysis. Well, that's right. Well, we'll see what comes up in the screening. But
Okay.
well, the problem
All right.
now is with the OVs and the PRVs, a subsequent conviction while on bond causes additional points. And
I
so that
understand. There's
It-
a lot going on here.
Yeah.
Most law students wouldn't have got that part of the question. But
All right,
yeah,
I get an
there's a
A.
lot. Okay, you get an A. Book award.
I get the book award. There you go. I'm out. I'll talk to you
All
guys.
right.
Yeah.
Jeanette,
Yes.
this young lady is charged with domestic violence. She, Autumn, would you come back? I'm going to ask Daniel to join us. We'll make a record on your case, Autumn, and get you freed up. Since your prediction is correct. Is Daniel remote?
No, he's in the office. He's on the other line.
I'm sorry, who was it that you wanted again?
Abigail Adams.
All right, thank you.
All right, Autumn, let's call your case. This is file 201022FY. It's a probation violation arraignment on Caleb Ballard. This is a young man we kept trying to drag over the finish line on a methamphetamine probation. He's not here. What's the status on him?
Your Honor, I tried to get a hold of him this past month in March for a report. I tried to contact him and to no avail. I did have contact with an anonymous caller who called me asking if he had a warrant because Caleb felt he did. He didn't at this point, and I advised that caller of that. I also tried to send him into test in the beginning, or excuse me, at the end of February, and he failed to do so as well. So I have a feeling that he has gone off the rails again.
Is there a bench warrant out now?
There is not.
Well, I'm gonna do a bench warrant with no bond, see judge. All right, I sent Dan an email, but would you ask him to log in?
I did. I just jabbered him as well since he's on the other line.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyway, I feel bad about this case. This kid could save it, but he's making a lot of bad decisions. All right, you're good to go.
Thank you.
Good morning. Are you Abigail Adams?
Yes.
This is Judge Middleton. I'm about to bring in your public defender, your probation officer, Daniel Frazine. Also present is Jeanette Jackson from the public defender office and Deborah Davis from the prosecutor's office. This is called a Polycom arraignment. You got arrested last night and you apparently have some new charges. I'm not sure what those are yet. And you're on probation to Daniel on a domestic assault. And so he has like 1 minute of notice to this. So let's go through this. This is file 201970. You're charged with domestic assault that allegedly occurred last September. You pled guilty to that on October 8th and you were set for screening and sentencing. You got a deferred jail sentence and you were put on probation. We set a probation violation hearing for March 17th and you failed to appear, so I issued a bench warrant for your arrest. Let me see if this is in my queue yet. The probation violation petition alleges that you were put on probation on October 8th for domestic violence. And the conditions were you were not to violate any criminal law. You got charged with a new domestic violence. You failed to report, failed to pay fees, failed to abstain from use of intoxicants, failed to participate in treatment. So Daniel filed a petition alleging that you violated your probation. We set the hearing for St. Patrick's Day, March 17th. Daniel was here I was here and you weren't. So he issued a bench warrant for your arrest, and then apparently you got picked up last night. When did you get arrested? Last night?
Yes.
All right, where at?
In White Pigeon.
Now, what you missed was called a probation violation arraignment. That's where I tell you what the charges are. Well, I just did. The allegation is that you violated your probation by failing to report, using intoxicants or refusing to test, failing to pay, and getting a new charge. Any one of those things could be a violation. You've also got a new charge. So you're entitled to have a hearing regarding your probation violation. At that hearing, you'd have to be proven guilty beyond a probable cause standard that you violated your probation. That hearing could result in testimony being taken under oath, and you would have a right to tell your side of the story under oath. But you don't have a right to a jury trial on a probation violation. You do have a right, however, to an attorney. If you want one, I'll appoint an attorney to assist you with it. You also have the right to waive the right to an attorney and simply admit to the violation. Ms. Adams, what do you wish to do regarding the allegation that you violated your probation?
I'd like an attorney.
All right. So you're pleading not guilty, appoint an attorney, and set a probation violation hearing. I'm going to put appoint the same attorney as new criminal charge. Are you working somewhere?
No.
All right, your bond's canceled. Set the hearing soon, like next week. You're going to be seen by the magistrate later today on the new charges. As Daniel said, or somebody said, you went off the rails, and I guess that was a lot of them talking about someone else, but I'm going to get this case back on track. So you haven't been doing any of the things you were supposed to do. You didn't go to treatment, you didn't pay, you didn't test, and you didn't show up. So that's not a good combination. I've got about 10 days held over your head, and we'll see what we're going to do here. All right, Miss Adams, you're good to go. Daniel, there's really not much else to say at this point.
I don't think there's a whole lot to say to begin with, but unfortunately.
All right, Miss Adams, I'll see you probably next Wednesday, but all right, you're good to go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Daniel, for coming in on short notice. And Debbie and Jeanette, I asked you to be here for that, though there really wasn't much to do since she did that. All right, Jeanette, I think you're done with my court for the morning. I have a couple of sentences at 11. I have some zoning violations if you want to get in on those this afternoon.
Oh, I'll pass on that, but I did appreciate the law school class on ethics this morning. that was quite interesting.
There's about nine separate issues in that case.
Yeah, somebody better graph that one out for somebody to follow that map.
Well, we got a special prosecutor. We need to get the guy a lawyer. He's got a felony probation with serious issues and consequences, a new felony charge with serious consequences, which could violate his probation. We got this, which could affect everything, and we got attorney problems. So, all right, Jeanette, have a good rest of the day. Debbie, I don't guess I'll see you at 11. Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, bye. See you
Bye,
tomorrow.
I'm gonna turn off the live feed here. All right, we'll be back at 11 a.m. for a couple of sentences.